Welcome to the Business as Mission podcast, dedicated to those who long to see God glorified in business and the nations reached for Christ. Your host is Mike Bayer, longtime BAM leader and founder of Third Path Initiative, an online education resource for starting and growing BAM businesses around the world.
Welcome to another episode of the Business Mission Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Bayer, and I am here with three good friends and brothers from Romania, actually one by way of the Netherlands, Daan de Groot, Adrian Buhai, and Corneliu Niste. Niste or Nista? How do I?
Niste.
Niste, okay. Got it right the first time. We have been working together we met several years ago, pre-pandemic, in a conference we were all at in Bucharest. And since that time, as I've gotten to know these brothers and what God is doing through them, I'm excited to have their story. So first of all, brothers, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So guys, I want to get your story, but I want to start with just kind of your introduction to BAM, how you got connected, because I know there's a lot of other stories we could tell, Don, particularly in your case, how you got from the Netherlands to Bucharest and on to Romania. So a lot of stuff we could talk about, but really want to talk about your journey to BAM, a little bit of that, and I'll kind of round robin that to make sure everybody gets a chance to talk about it. But then the most important thing, and this is really what I want to hear our listeners to be aware of, is what you guys are doing with BAM Connect. Coming out of the conference in, I guess, 2019, you all put together really an amazing BAM-focused business, a platform. I'll let you tell more, but BAM Connect, look it up. It's bamconnect.com. Fantastic platform. And so we want to hear about that. But first, let's just go around. And so, Don, if you'll just start, give us a little bit of your background and how you moved from sort of traditional missionary experience into the world of business as mission.
Yeah, so in 2008, I moved to Romania. I'm married in the Netherlands, and then I moved to Romania. And I was 5 years into the work of being a missionary, working with homeless people and street children. And then I was on a presentation from the company TurboChem. And there I heard for the first time about business as mission or business as is mission. And I met also with a Dutch man who run a company here from the Netherlands, but his company is here in Romania. And the long story short, he challenged me to start together a work project where we took pallets. And from these pallets, we would make all kind of small wooden decorational products and sold it in the Netherlands. We did that for a few years with street children, with homeless people, and we realized that this was a nice NGO daily activity project. But if we really wanted to make it a business, we should shift our focus. So there we decided to really make it a business. And in that time, God sent also a local designer man who could also lead production. Together with him, we started to really do the business. And now we have a company of 6 people employed, and we make custom-made furniture that we deliver all over Romania. And this is how, for me, BAM and Business as Mission started to live in my life.
So a quick question, Don, when I hear that story, when you shifted from being sort of the traditional missionary NGO, doing good work, obviously great work among the homeless, was it hard? Did you have a hard time struggling at all with the mental transition of your identity, who am I, or did it just seem very clear at the time?
No, it was logic. And my background in the Netherlands was also business. So I was always searching ways to be self-sustainable. And we tried, I think the hard part was in coaching the people to work. We work with really people from a difficult background. And I had too much romantical or too much red thoughts about how we could help these people by offering them a job. But in practice, it is very hard to offer homeless people a job, because if they don't want to work, they will not come. If you pay them salary, the next day they are gone for a few days, drunk and spending their money. So there we have to learn the hard way that you cannot have a whole team of homeless people working for you. And first you need to be a good business and have a stable team, and then step by step, you can add their new members into that already healthy organization.
Yeah. That's a tough lesson, but it's one I think our brothers have had to learn globally, trying to help people that truly need help, but it can be quite difficult in setting that up correctly. So let me switch over. Corneliu, tell us how you got to sort of the beginnings of Business as Mission in Romania yourself.
Yeah, I was growing in a Christian family. They have a business, and from a little age, I was involved in all the stuff. And I saw there was the growing especially in the business, in the emergent market, was very hard to integrate the faith and business. And when I was growing, I was studying business administration, political science, and sustainable development, all for this to find a way how to integrate this, especially in business and mission in a working field. And for me, it was amazing how God worked. In 2019, we have this opportunity to have a BAM conference in Bucharest. There is the first where we met, and was amazing experience for us. And after now from 3 years, God's moved a lot in Romania, and we are here, and we are very happy to see the future together, especially in the BAM world.
I remember that conference well. It was a great time together in Bucharest, right across the street or around the corner from the Parliamentary Palace, which is a huge building for those who haven't been there to see it. Look it up. It's beautiful. A lot of history, but the conference itself was a really special time. I felt God was working, and I came away with the sense that God has a special purpose for Romania in Europe in particular, and in Business as Mission. It seems to really be a country where he's at work. So I'm with you on that, Corneliu. I appreciate that. Adrian, how about you? Give us a quick update. How did you get to this? Adrian has a business of his own called Soft Biz Magazine. And I think it's just a .com, right? softbizbiz.com, or is it?
No, it's softmagazine.ro.
Okay, .ro.
Yeah.
And we'll put that in the show notes. Everybody can be sure and go to the right site. So,
yeah, thank you for asking. It was my personal journey. I started business in 2000. At that time, in 2003, I started to be concerned about integrity. It was not. It was a subject in Romania at this time, and we decided to do business with integrity. So our current business collapsed, and we started a new one with software that in which I am now. And then a new question came into my mind about how can I do business to serve God. I used to live in a divided reality, going to my business just to do money, and going to church to serve God. And God spoke to me, and it was a day when I learned about the Lordship of Christ over all my life. And I asked him and told him that I want to be Lord also over my business, because it was an important and extended part of my life. So I started the journey. I started to search literally on Google about business and mission. And this is how I came into contact with Business as Mission world. And I see that out there is a world, a movement with this subject. So I started to listen videos and audios from you, from Mike Bayer, from Matt, from different people. And then in 2019, it was the conference in Bucharest that you already mentioned. And I met with these people, and I was so excited to meet you and the other in person, I continue to keep in touch and to go to different events and courses and learn about this. How can I serve God with my business? And this is how I met and Corneliu and Daan. Actually, Daan, I met when I started to search and to find businesses in Romania that are doing this mission, and this is how I met Daan in Târgu Mureș.
So it's kind of interesting how all that came together and gelled, and all the connections that came out of the conference. But it really was just God had been working in each one of your lives individually, and then bring it together for quite something powerful coming out of it. So tell us a little bit about just the movement from there, because you've all got different businesses, and you're running them under the lordship of Christ. And I'll make a quick side comment based on what you just said, Adrian, that there does come a point in time when a business person needs to surrender their business to the Lord. They need to acknowledge, as you did, that I am yours, but because I'm yours, my business is yours. And that can be a very big thing. It's certainly a very important thing to be able to think that through and pray that through. But now you guys have come together and you've created a vision. Now you've created a platform. You've created a work called BAM Connect. So tell us the story of that. The two things I want our audience to take away, or at least this conversation, is understanding BAM Connect and how to access it, because it's a really amazing platform, and the work that goes with it. It's not just a platform; it's more than that. And I know you'll tell us. And then the other is we've got another conference coming up in February, God willing, and we want to invite people, if they can be in the area, to join us as well. So Daan, I'll start with you again. As you said earlier, you're kind of the talker. So tell us a little bit of the story of BAM Connect.
Yeah, so I can go on where Adrian stopped. In 2019, he met a friend of mine, and we tried to connect. And then he started to organize meetings online, all with BAM businesses. And that was right when the pandemic started as well. So every month we were online talking to each other, praying for each other, and trying to help each other through this tough time. And when the pandemic went a bit normal and we could move between everything that was happening, Adrian was proposing an idea to start with a startup program where we could identify new people who had a business idea, and then to connect it with a startup day where we could present these businesses to potential investors. That was in May 2001 that we had this first meeting about it. And we made the plans. In July 2001, we had our first program. And in October 2001, we organized our first startup day. And we used the business model canvas as a model to help these people with a business idea to create their business idea, their business plan, and their pitch. So when in October we had this all done, we evaluated, we came together in a little hunter's cabin, off the grid, no internet, almost no electricity. We came up with a plan like, if we want to have this as an impact, then we should make this business model canvas online in a platform where everybody can access it, where we can work digital with people. We came up with a plan to change the business model canvas in a business as mission model canvas. So we changed some key building blocks and we integrated mission into it. And we started to work on content that we could give during the trainings. After some hard work in July this year, we used for the first time the platform during a training. So everybody came with a laptop. And instead of having papers and post-its everywhere, we worked on the screens, and on the big screen, we could discuss every business model that we liked. And also last weekend, we had again a training in Brasov where we repeated this. And in the meanwhile, we tried to test our model, our platform with you guys on the BEAP Global platform, on the BAM Global events, on the roundtable events there, to see if what people think, because we needed feedback. It was like a product that we built from scratch. Adrian is into the software, so his company and his relationships we used to build it. And we needed to test it, both technical, but also if there is a market, if people can work with it, and if it has potential for the future. And that's how this platform grew, and that is where we are now.
So it's been fun to watch, what began as a community. Adrian, you had the vision for just a community of believers being able to just encourage each other, pray for each other. And then from there, you started doing local trainings. And I've seen some of the videos and some of the pictures of just the, brothers and sisters working on their business idea, and you guys, teaching and coaching and encouraging. It's fun to watch this happen. Where did the vision to put it online come from? Because I know there are not a lot of business incubators like you've created anyway, but putting it online takes it to a whole different level. Where did that idea come from, and the whole concept of and then I want to come back. I want to talk about this business's mission business model canvas. You and I talked about that before. Pretty fascinating, but let's go back. Just how did it move from a gathering of folks to train and maybe pitch to some investors to this online model? That's for you, Adrian.
We started together, but during this time, it was again my personal journey. I helped a friend from Gârcini, a very poor area near Brașov, to build a bakery in his yard, a small bakery. So I worked with him for 2 years, and he started the bakery, and I was so excited to be able to help a person to start a business that never done a business. So then came another friend of mine who is in Sierra Leone in West Africa, Francis, and he came to me and told me that he wants to help youths there to have a job, and he wants to start a chicken farm. And I started to work with him on this chicken farm. So it came the need to have a tool to work with these people that I mentor. And I was to a course in Amsterdam, and it was their BAM course, and we work with business model canvas, and I was very excited about this tool, and I started to use it in my mentorship with these guys. And then I come up with this idea to Corneliu and Daan and other, but they was very excited about it. Why not to start a group to help entrepreneurs to start a business, and then we see that we work on papers, and it's not so good for me. I have on my office just a computer, so I don't like to use papers. So we received a grant last year, and we created this app. We received some money from Give First, and we created this app to use it as a tool, and it became not just a tool, a software tool, but also we are working hard to the content, because we see that is very important for entrepreneurs to know how to build and what to write in each building block of their business, and how to integrate mission as the DNA of their company. If they start like this from the beginning, will be a great business that will glorify God and will serve people for real.
As you shared it with me, you guys have done a really marvelous job of taking integration to a whole new level. We think about the BAM, we talk about a lean canvas or a business model canvas. It's a one-page business planning tool that's available pretty much globally online for free. But then sometimes it feels like you're forcing your business's mission business into it. And so what you got, I love the fact you said, no, we're gonna have the business planning tool itself reflect business's mission. And I know as you walked me through it, it's got different constituents, different stakeholders, different ministry opportunities, all built into it. And as you say, you put an instruction with it, a training with it. So it's not just, hey, fill this form out, but it's got really everything somebody needs to get started in thinking through in an integrated way. How did you come across the business model canvas, and how different do you think it is, the work that you guys have done in making it a business's mission model canvas?
Yes, we inspire a lot from Lean Canvas. but we realized we want to integrate the Great Commission inside in each box of the and the different component of the business. And we have a totally different approach because we see from the lens, from the biblical way, especially from discipleship, because this platform combined education, discipleship, and investment. And of course, all together create a community. And we realize we need to have more context to growing in knowledge and in connections, like how TriVenture do, or BAM Global, or different trainings around the world. And we want to be more sustainable, and we see we have opportunity to scale up this from this form. Be Online is a cloud platform, and yeah, BAM Global, they helps a lot because they have a lot big network, and from BAM Connect we want to create many tools, and I encourage all the people who listen this podcast to thinking to create the tools to growing businesses and put together the mission or ministry in their business.
It's so obvious when you see it. I think a lot of people look right past it, but you look and you say, okay, this is a good business plan, and then your ministry plan is almost separate, right? And what you guys have done is said, no, let's one tool pulls it all together, and it's one of those things. When you all shared it with me, I was like, why didn't I think of that? So, once you see it, it's so obvious, but it wasn't obvious until you guys did it. And I love that you did that.
We'll be right back after a short break. The Business as Mission podcast is in partnership with TriVenture, the BAM Launchpad. TriVenture offers the 3 ingredients every entrepreneur needs to launch and scale a BAM business: courses, coaching, and capital. For more information, visit triventure.com.
Can anybody anywhere in the world access BAM Connect and participate in it, or is it going to be focused primarily on Eastern Europe? What's the vision for the work you're now doing? Adrian, I'll pitch that to you.
Yeah, okay. I will go back to my story again, because I mentor some people to start businesses, and I met 2 types of people. So there was missionaries that want to start a business, or there was business people that want to integrate somehow mission. So what we wanted is to put this together, to make a good match between those two, and to integrate at each level, each building block, the mission and the Great Commission, actually. And it's a tool that now it's available. It's on bamconnect.net. Everyone can create.
Glad you corrected that.
Yeah, everyone can create an account very easy with LinkedIn or with an email as an entrepreneur or as an investor. If you create as an entrepreneur an account there, you have access to create your business model, and also you have access to read the content for each building block of the business model. Just to give an example, on Strategizer, you can find a business model canvas and a mission model canvas. They are separated. When I made a course a BAM course in Amsterdam, I created actually business model canvas with 3 blocks added at the bottom: kingdom impact, environmental impact, and social impact. And this is a good model. But what you will see on our BAM Connect .net, and when you press the info button at each building block, is that we don't have separate blocks for kingdom impact. We want to see kingdom manifested at each level of the company as a DNA of the company. So that's why you will not see them separated. This is something unique about our tool.
Yeah, in fact, I'm looking at the site right now, and for those listening that Romanian is not your first language, it's in English, so it's accessible. It's laid out very easily to navigate, and the very first thing you see, the BAM Connect platform talks about step-by-step instructions for the BAM business mission model canvas. And guys, I would encourage anybody listening, go check it out. If you're looking at starting a business, go check it out. If you want to really get some good thinking on how to integrate your faith into your business, as all three of these brothers have, that's a great place to go. But also, just a quick comment for investors. We've all been watching Business's Mission now I've been involved for over 30 years, and we've gone to where no one knew what was going on. Now we have a lot of good education. Then we got to a lot of people that needed coaching but couldn't get it. So now they've got mentors like the guys on the call here who are deeply involved in the mentoring. And Corneliu, you said discipleship, and that's exactly what true mentoring is, right? And disciples are the apprentices of Jesus Christ. So it's a beautiful model that you guys are living out. And now, we're starting, thankfully, to people like Henry Kaestner and others, to see a lot of movement in the faith-driven investment space, but not enough. There's so much opportunity for private investors, groups of investors to invest in kingdom businesses in places like Romania. That's what you guys are pitching up. So thank you for really covering A to Z of what needs to be covered. Daan, you look like you want to say something.
Yeah, because your question was like, is it accessible for all the world? And yes, it is. Of course, we also run the community here in Eastern Europe and in Romania, what has first of all our heart, but it's our dream to see this platform developed until a level where it can be used all over the world. That's our dream, and with that in mind, we have created it, and that's why we created it in English.
Yeah.
And we're using and testing it now here. So, but if there are other networks interested in collaboration, then we are open, because you can make your account, you can make a business plan, but we have seen that in community during a training where we are together, where we are brainstorming, where we are reading the Bible by each building block. We integrated Bible text in each building block. Like what is your value proposition, or what are your channels? Then we see that already God was using channels through the whole Bible to spread his message. And then from that perspective to go into your own business, then that creates a whole different vibe. So we hope that this platform will be used in groups. Maybe we are thinking also online video trainings, for example, or cohort trainings.
Yep.
It are all possibilities that are now in the digital world. So hopefully it will be everywhere in the world.
Amen. So I'm going to close this part of the conversation by saying to the audience, guys, go check it out. bamconnect.net. It's a great site. It's easy. What you just said, Daan, I want everybody to rethink that we don't need to see everybody recreating the same thing all over the world. Let's collaborate, right? Let's work together. And everybody brings something special to it. I'm going to give acknowledgement to Adrian. He brings this business's mission business model canvas. It's just, that's a phenomenal tool. Everybody brings something. Corneliu, your heart for discipleship just resonates with me. So all of us are working together on this, and you're right, Daan. It's going to be global. It's got to be global. All right. So but as you say, your heart is Romania and Eastern Europe. So let's kind of close out by telling the audience about what we have planned for February. Tell us about what's coming up. Adrian and Corneliu have been just helping lead this day by day, this idea that we put together, or they put together actually. And so just tell quickly what's coming up in February and how people can get connected to that.
Yeah, so after the startup day last year, we decided to do again an event. But this time we wanted to be focused more on also international guests and communities. So we organized the BAM Connect Summit. where you are invited as well, and you will be speaking. And our goal is to connect with each other, to present our platform as well, to speak about the business as model canvas, but also to create value for the ones who are visiting. So we hope that there will come Romanians and other East European participants, but also international participants, and that there will be a mix of cultures, of ideas, and of experiences, and where we can be encouraged and find new motivation to go on with the movement that we've built, to connect with other networks, and to have just a great time with all kind of guests who are leading round tables. We will do 2 rounds of round tables where people have the chance to sit down with you, with Bob Bush, and with other invitees that we are working on at the moment, and to have a time where we celebrate the BAM community globally, but also for Eastern Europe. And that will be on the 18th of February in Bucharest, because that is a central place. It's easy to reach from everywhere in the world. We will be there and waiting on our guests, and to have a great time together and a blessed time together, to go on with what happened in 2019 on the conference. There was ignited this movement into Eastern Europe. We knew that there were plans to redo this conference, but because of COVID, it was all cancelled. And we feel the need when we are speaking with other people in the Netherlands, for example. We were a few weeks ago, but I was also in the Balkan in the beginning of this year. We have contacts in Moldova and Bulgaria, and everywhere you feel that there is a need of this community day, of this day to be together and to speak about BAM and to encourage each other. Because online you can speak and you can meet, but when it is live and when you can shake a hand of somebody, then other relationships are created.
So it's going to be in Bucharest. It's on February 18th, but it's not just for Romanians.
No, it will be in English.
It really is for anybody globally, but a focus on Eastern Europe. How does somebody go find out about it? Is it on the BAM Connect site? How to register? Where do they go for that?
If it's not on the BAM Connect site yet, then it will be there soon. Our event page is on our BAM Romania website, because there we had better options to register and for payment methods. So it is an English page on our BAM Romania website, bamromania.ro, but for sure there will be a link on the BAM Connect website as well.
Okay, and we'll have all of this in the show notes for people to go back and look at. But boy, spread the word. I will tell you, not because we want a big conference, but because all of us on this call, we believe that God is doing something very, very special in Romania. And I shared with you guys, I get this sense that Romania is going to be a catalytic country, and in terms of leading BAM music movement in that part of the world. All right, so let me give each of you kind of a final word to say admonition, encouragement to our listeners, and hopefully somewhere in there we'll say see you in Bucharest on February 18th. So Corneliu, we'll start with you.
What I'm thinking is the final thoughts. Probably this is the cut part in the podcast. But we receive a lot from BAM world. I don't know. For example, you, Mike, your books helps a lot in Romania. Many people, they read your books. And because you are emergent market here, emergent country, we like a sponge, like we absorb a lot of information, and we want to integrate a lot more mission, Christian in business and faith. And I think is now for Romania is the time to be more offensive, not just defensive. We receive a lot, we are very blessed, and we want to bless another countries. And this is our vision, and we want to see the kingdom of God comes, and we are very, very privileged people to contribute on this big ecosystem. Thank you so much, and see you soon in 18 February in Romania, in Bucharest, to BAM Summit.
Thanks, Corneliu. I'm looking forward to seeing you too. And I know some of our listeners will be there. So, Daan, final thoughts?
Yeah, for me, I'm living here now since 15 years, in Romania almost. And 15 years ago, I came with this Western arrogance that I come from the Netherlands and I will resolve all the problems in Romania. I learned the hard way that that is not how it is, and God repented me from this arrogance. It's still sometimes there, but I feel it when it's coming, so I can be on my guard for it. And it is so great to see now that together with my fellow Romanians, I'm one of them, I speak the language, I understand the culture, and that we can work on this change, on a real change through NGOs, through businesses. And then you can see that God is really using everyone. And that's for me the greatness of it. And that's why I have my heart in it and that I want to share with others. So that's for me the reason why I'm into this BAM Connect movement, why we build a platform, why I'm organizing these conferences, because I want everybody to experience what God is doing here. And if God can do it here, he can do it everywhere.
Yeah. Amen. And I think when I'm listening to you and I think about what Corneliu said, the beauty of all of this is that this BAM is a global movement and we are learning from each other. You said the Western arrogance, and Don, I get it. I believe me, I've got that's printed on my forehead sometimes, but it's there. But it's so encouraging to me and humbling in a good way to learn from my brothers in Romania or my brothers in Brazil. I mean, just different places I get to go, and I think that's the beauty of it. We all bring something. Corneliu, you said it. I mean, I might write books, but you say things that stir my heart, and so. That's what we do together. All right, Adrian, you get the final word, and then we'll close off.
Yeah, what will be special about this summit will be that you will be here, and I'm not saying this just because I want to flatter you, but I was inspired by your books and your videos and audios that are on the internet. And also I was inspired by the Triventure idea, coaching, course coaching capital. Mm-hmm. And if you look to our model, BAM Connect model, you will see some elements from there. This is what we want to see in Romania: course, coaching, and capital. And it will be a great time to stay together, to talk together, and to learn from you and from the other. We will have a lot of workshops. People from around the world will come to speak about something related to business as mission, and also from Romania, from Moldova, and we are looking forward to be there and to connect with these great people and to see how God wants us together to go forward with this movement in this movement.
Amen. Well, guys, I'm looking forward to seeing you. It won't be very long. I think we're 7, maybe 8 weeks away, and we'll be together. And again, guys, for the audience, go to bamromania.ro, and eventually you'll be able to register for this conference on bamconnect.net. But for now, bamromania.ro, and sign up, be there, bring a friend. It's going to be I think we're going to have an absolute wonderful time, and that God's going to do something special. I think he has something to say to all of us. So good to see you, brothers. I know you've got busy days. Your day's almost done, and my day's just getting started. But go enjoy your families, and God bless. See you in a few.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Business as Mission podcast. We invite you to become part of the story by supporting the BAM podcast at patreon.com/BAM Stories. There's a link in the notes with this episode. For more information, go to thirdpathinitiative.com or tryventure.com. Please share this podcast and give us a review wherever you listen. If you'd like to help with expenses and expansion of the Business as Mission podcast, you can become a donor through Patreon. Just go to patreon.com/BAM Stories. This podcast is brought to you by generous donors and sponsors. You can become one by going to patreon.com/BAM Stories.